live. So, before we get started, just gonna put this out there. This is not doing any personal readings or anything like that, so don't ask, please. This is specifically for the winter storm known as Iggy, according to the Weather Channel. Um, just formed, it just got named last night while I was asleep. So here we go. Anyway, starting with the Two of Pentacles reversed. So, what I'm getting here is there's going to be a lot of instability with Iggy. So we might have a little bit extra severe weather on the warm side of Iggy, a little bit more than previously advertised, and might have a bit more of an outbreak of some kind. Probably surprise tornado outbreak, because that's a thing that's been happening lately. But with Iggy, there's going to be a little extra going on. Little extra. Um, Instability is going to be nasty. Knight of Pentacles. She has the ingredients to do what she needs to do. Talking about abundance, if I'm not mistaken. I had to pull it out just to make sure. Deeply grounded roles of the earthly realm with all of its riches and rewards. Hard work, perseverance, and great enterprise has brought him to this position of material mastery. Also key to his success is this king's recognition of the importance of dedication to spiritual discipline. He respects and upholds the sacredness of the earth, honors the importance of the sacred in all endeavors. It's not going to necessarily harm anything that's deemed sacred. Maybe that's partly what I'm getting. But yeah, this thing definitely has the abundance of ingredients to do what it needs, that it desires to do. There's going to be a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, a lot of snow, a lot of severe weather on the warm side. But yeah, this is something to definitely watch. The sun reversed. Now going for the literal sense, yeah, it's going to be very cloudy for those impacted. You're not going to see much of the sunlight until after this thing is done. But for the card's interpretation, okay. So, rising sun is when it's right side up. When it's reversed, it's like setting. So, it's an end of an era. The end of... Okay, so Iggy will be marking the end of the atmospheric river that's been drowning California. The end of the warmer weather in the eastern U.S. So the middle of the country, southeast, it's going to be the end of the warm part of this. It's the end of this current pattern. So there's going to be changes coming after Iggy comes through. We're going to have a little bit more winter weather in the east. Going to have drier weather in the southwest, sadly. And the Pacific Northwest, well, it's basically, after this, we're going to go back to the typical La Nina setup. So yeah, Iggy's going to be marking the end for that. The end of the atmospheric river, going back to what was originally forecasted for the winter. Queen of Wands. Okay, that's going to be... get to it, because it's been a while since I drew the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is truthful, balanced, strong, and all above, attuned to her inner forces. Okay, so we got instability, meaning this storm's going to be very strong. This talks about stability. Now, that sounds like that would butt heads, but what I'm getting is this storm is going to be very organized. Despite the instability, it's going to be very organized, which aids in the instability of the storm, the imbalance in the storm. Then It's going to aid into enhancing precipitation numbers, enhancing tornado numbers, enhancing issues. Um, so there's going to be a lot of issues with this storm. It's definitely not a time to celebrate. Three of Cups is a time for celebration. When it's reversed, it's not a time for celebration. Sure, it's going to help with drought throughout the country, but that's where the benefits stop. Okay? There's going to be a lot of flooding. There's going to be a lot of power outages. There's going to be a lot of destruction with this storm. Do not let your guard down. Five of Wands reversed. Okay, Five of Wands talks about, like, disorganization when it's not reversed. Wielded in every direction in the Five of Wands. Clearly there is a conflict of opinion. Okay, so there's a pretty good consensus that this storm is going to be a disaster. It's going to bring the it's going to put the disaster in natural disaster. Okay? This is what I'm getting here. So there's pretty strong consensus when it's reversed. There's pretty strong consensus. There's going to be like little iteration with the models on what this thing wants to do. But yeah, it's going to be, there's not going to be too many surprises in terms of like its direction. Like the model saying it's going to be a big storm for the Midwest. It's not going to be much different from that. I doubt it's going to be much of a lackluster either. And it's going to be a slow mover. We got another slow mover on our hands. So that will help enhance the rainfall totals, the snowfall totals, the tornadoes numbers. It's going to enhance all that if it's, as it's going to be moving slow. It's not going to be moving too quick. Partly because there's going to be a block of some kind, preventing it from traveling quickly. Whether that block might be something in the Atlantic, like some high pressure system, or due to the lack of jet stream getting involved. Either way, this storm is gonna have obstacles later on in its life, and the main reason why it's gonna be. Yeah, Four of Swords talks about having a pause, which tells me the storm's gonna be slow. It's a slow mover, which just makes it even more dangerous. The Empress. Well, going literal, this involves in feminine energy. Iggy is a female name, is a feminine name. So, taken in that instance, yeah, that fits. But going towards the whole Empress, once I get to it. Yeah, the Empress, matriarch of the feminine forces that brings all things into form. So yeah, Iggy's feminine name, that just kind of puts that in there. Rules the internal stream of life from the depths of creation with love and beauty. So this storm could give out some beautiful cells and beautiful like snow stuff like that. It's gonna be relatively photogenic. It's gonna produce photogenic clouds, tornadoes, snow, landscapes, etc. So this storm is gonna might even see some rainbows on the back end of it. But to treat nature with great respect. So yeah, this storm is definitely gonna desire respect. Like, don't fear the storm, respect it, be prepared. That's what I'm getting here. Like, don't fear it, respect it. Okay, finally the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Pentacles talks about represents fulfillment and success in a story and the enrichment we have achieved in both the inner and outer dimensions of our lives. All the previous experiences of the Pentacles have led us to great insight represented by this card. We now know that it is our rich inner qualities which we have cultivated that are our true treasures. This wisdom is the foundation of a happy and fulfilled life. Okay, so with it being reversed, it's the opposite of that. So, Iggy, what I'm getting here is Iggy will not provide the first snowfall for many in the east that is waiting for that first measurable snowfall. Like New York City, DC, Baltimore area. They haven't really seen much snow, and I don't think Iggy's gonna provide that. It's gonna be more of a rain event for you guys. The snow is mostly Midwest, Rocky Mountains, and that's really about it. The high plains, not much in the way for the southeast or east coast in terms of snow. Sure, Appalachians, higher elevations, yeah, you're gonna get snow. It's easier. Because elevation trumps how far north or south you are, like how close you are to the equator. If you're high enough in elevation, it could get cold enough for snow. Um, sure, the closer you are to the equator, the higher up in elevation you have to be, but still. Um, anyways, just recap. This storm is going to be very unstable, yet very organized. It's going to be the storm to change the pattern that's been going on for the past few weeks. It's definitely not a time to celebrate. This storm is going to last a long time. It's going to last longer. And there's not going to be much deviation in the models. So yeah, with that, that's about it. Stay safe out there. See you in the next video or stream.